Bene, abbiamo già gente, vedo che ci saluta. Ciao ragazzi, io mi ammutolisco e facciamo subito un cambio lingua con Giulia. Io farò lo stretto indispensabile, un po' come diceva Balù, quindi vai.
The bare necessity. Allora, no, lingua sbagliata. So, hi everyone. Tonight we are going to go through how to play of Soulgivers. Um, we're doing this because right now we are a bit busy. We've said it multiple times. It's just a few people working on Soulgivers. We're not many at all. Um, but so we right now don't have a chance to create a super professional how to play video to share with you. Um, so we thought that in any case, we wanted you to see how it is played, and we wanted to give you brief, like instructions and brief and clear rules on how to play. And again, this is just, I guess, temporarily. It's for the Kickstarter campaign. After the Kickstarter campaign, we'll have more time to actually uh, provide a much better video than what you'll see today. But we also thought it would be cool because being live on Kickstarter, we can also answer your questions. So it's going to be a how to play, but we saw this as a more direct way of. Uh, oh, Luca, I think they can't see me. Just looking at the live, I'm GG right now,
Oh,
but maybe I'm wrong.
cosa è successo? Ha ragione, accidenti. Un
It's
momento,
great.
un momento, un
Not that
momento.
anybody cared, but I'm seeing it and I'm like, shh, shut up. But anyway, we thought that this could be also a more direct way to communicate with you since you can ask us questions. So I think we're going to go through the how to play and then at the end answer all of the questions you have for us. While Luca, well, in the meantime, while Luca fixes this, do you have any questions? Like, so you can start sending questions. Well,
Aspetta,
hi, everybody
ok.
that's here right now.
Giulia live. Ora
Yay!
ottimo.
So, okay, I'm here now. Perfect.
Ok.
Oh, thank you, Alexander. Okay, so I'm gonna start. Is that okay?
Sì, sì, sì,
Perfect. So,
perfetto. Ok.
you ready? All right, so how it's gonna work is that I'm gonna go through the how to play, and Luca is gonna show you with the aid of the Tabletopia version of the game the different things you can do. Again, the Tabletopia version is not available yet. As we said, we're working on it, but keep in mind that our game is a full experience, so it's very tactile as well. So the Tabletopia version of the game, if we can actually work it out, it's gonna be just merely to show you the gameplay. This like Soulgivers is really all its components as well. But we're gonna use it tonight to show you the different parts of the how to play. Also because coronavirus is still here and we try not to see each other too often so that we're safer. All right. So Soulgivers is a two-player strategy board game in which two populations, the shells and specters, fight for the fragment, which is the only cure to a deathly disease called decay. The goal of the game, as we said multiple times, is to collect the fragment and bring it back to one of your portals, which are also the entry point for your characters. So there are two portals each, two for the shells and two for the specters. So you enter from these portals and you have to bring the fragment back to these portals as well. Each player has a deck of 10 heroes called Soulgivers. This is the core set, and then there will be expansions, as you already saw. The heroes are the same for both factions, and each player will play 3 Soulgivers at the time. The players will play all 3 Soulgivers in each turn, taking both free actions and paid actions, which will be later. We'll see later what they are in details. But you can take both free actions and paid actions, and you can take them in whatever order you want, as long as you do not take the same type of action twice in the same turn with the same Soulgiver. For example, which this means that you cannot attack twice with the architect, or you cannot use their ability twice, their ability mold twice, or you cannot move them twice. Um, Whenever you play Soulgiver, you have to activate them, and so you have to declare its activation. And you cannot activate a Soulgiver then twice in the same turn. So you cannot activate a Soulgiver, then activate another one, and then go back to the previous Soulgiver.
Ti interrompo
You
un
have
secondo,
to-
Giulia, scusa.
Yeah.
Vuoi che facciamo vedere questa prima parte nel frattempo?
Yeah.
Così gli diamo 2 o volevi leggere tutto prima?
No, pensavo
Come?
lo stessi già facendo vedere io.
Ah, no, meglio rallentare un pelo, allora così...
Okay, perfetto.
Allora.
So let's see this first part. So you will play with 3 Soulgivers. I'm the red hand and he's the blue hand.
Yeah.
But always be specters and you'll always be shells. So you can just place them on the portal. I'm just gonna choose this confuser, the horror, the space
Tanto mi
walker.
rivolgo agli italiani che ci stanno seguendo. In italiano ci sono già degli autoplay, per esempio nella bella anteprima di Teo di recensioni minute. C'è una veloce analisi di come funziona il gioco, quindi abbiamo preferito puntare sul farlo in inglese, proprio perché non esisteva ancora un vero e proprio autoplay aggiornato in inglese,
nostri
appunto.
amici che non parlano italiano.
Sì, quindi poi comunque
Però,
insomma,
ripeto,
se anche lo conoscete già, una rinfrescata per vedere le
esatto,
nuove...
poi ripeto, vabbè, dopo quando avremo tempo per dedicarci seriamente solo alla How to Play, ci sarà sia una versione italiana che inglese, o comunque anche quella
Sì.
inglese sarà sottotitolata.
Esatto.
Okay,
Ok.
so these are the 2 portals. You play with 3 Soulgivers at a time, and you place them both. So, for example, if I start, because you all know I draw better than Luca.
New shield.
Oh, yeah.
for the run. Okay.
So I will activate, for example, first the confuser, take my free action, maybe I will take a paid action. I'm not just playing, I'm just showing right now. So I'll rotate 2 tiles, and then I'll activate my spacewalker, use its ability, and then move. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. And then I'll activate my patcher and do 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I cannot use my confuser, activate the hole maker, and then, sorry, the spacewalker, and then go back to my confuser. And same thing for Luca.
Vi faccio vedere, per esempio, I activate the Volomancer, the confuser.
We're getting Luca to speak English. That's like an event. Write this date on the calendar.
Paying the...
Save the date.
Paying the tribute. Confuser.
All right, just
Volomancer.
don't pay attention to how I play on Tabletopia, because I'm awful at playing on Tabletopia. Look at how Luca plays. I'm really terrible.
Okay.
So also each Soulgiver has a decay die. 1, 2, 3, because you play with 3 Soulgivers. And they indicate the stage of the disease. So we said that there is this cosmic disease affecting them, and that's what indicates it. At the end of each of your turn, the die increases by 1 if they have taken, they increase by 1 if they don't, oh Jesus, my English is like, oh. So it increases by 1 if they haven't taken any paid actions, and it increases by 2 if they taken any paid actions. So if they take 1 or 2 or 3, it still increases only by 2. Okay, so when the dice or the die of a character reaches 6, the Soulgiver dies. So it goes into your pile, leaves this soul on the board, and at the beginning of your next turn,
Faccio
you
vedere un
will,
esempio.
yes, you will, so that's the Soulgiver dying. You will,
Era ancora sul portale.
all right, so you'll put their soul on the table, and at the beginning of your next turn, you will pick 2 Soulgivers, choose one, put the one that you didn't choose back in the deck, and shuffle. So you're still drawing to like a Soulgiver, but you still have a choice, because we think it's important to also have a little bit of choice of like, okay, what's coming next. So yeah, so each Soulgiver will have special live events for this, but each Soulgiver has a unique ability or unique abilities and auras, which are basically passive abilities that can interact with the modular field, the printed elements on the board, like walls and black holes, for example. Like walls are the black thingies and the walls are the white ones. And other Soulgivers. So each Soulgiver, I don't know if Luca, you want to like make you already got it? Ok, non so, vuoi far vedere la carta più grande?
Sì, così è enorme.
Ok, so each Soulgiver has abilities which are written in white on the card. You have the name, the range right next to it. It could be like cells or tiles or the entire board if you have the infinity sign, and the description underneath. And auras. The auras are usually in the color of the faction. So right now I believe you're seeing it in orange because you're showing the shells. And those are passive abilities, which means they're always active. You don't have to activate them. They're always working at any time when they're on the board. All right, so let's see some actions now. So we said you have free actions and paid actions, and you'll see you also have special actions. So what I like to do is I don't know if Luca, you want to show the summary card, but I like to use that as a reference because I think it's very clear. So as a free action, you can move your Soulgiver, rotate their shield, or absorb a soul. So the movement is indicated by an icon on the Soulgiver's card. You'll see it in a second.
Yeah.
They have, you will see, ooh, I'm not focusing right now. I'm blurry. So you see that you have a number and then some lines. I'm still blurry. So the number is the maximum of cells that you can move, and then you will have a kind of like an L shape if you can make turns, basically 90-degree turns, or it will be a straight line like in the case of the runner.
Yeah.
That means that you cannot turn, you can only go straight. So we said that you can move, you can rotate your shield, you can do it really at any time, it's part of the movement, but I really suggest you do it at the end of the movement because it's really important to orientate the shields in the right way so that you are protected from attacks. The shields, you'll see the shields on any Soulgiver token. For example, I don't know if you want to show a token. Okay, so there are these little lines you see. So you can just rotate. You don't have to do much. It really bothers me. Do you see me blurry?
It's the decay, Giulia.
I'm not blurry anymore. So you can rotate the shields as you want. Once you deactivate your character, you cannot activate again to rotate it. So unless your opponent is really kind, but you need to really orientate them well because otherwise your Soulgiver is completely defenseless. And the last reaction is to absorb a soul. You can absorb a soul by simply being on the same tile of a soul. For example, exactly there. So there is the render soul there and the confuser. Just by being on the same tile, Luca will declare just simply, I'm going to absorb the soul of the runner. Of course, his Soulgiver has to be active. So the confuser has to be active. And you can do it as a free action. keep in mind that you cannot absorb more than one soul, and you cannot absorb a soul if you already have one. So you cannot like switch, like, okay, I have one, I don't want it anymore, I'll drop this and get another one. Only the ghost can do that. Yep. Oh, one thing I didn't say about the movement is that you can interrupt your movement to take any actions and then resume your movement again. So if he was like, I'm gonna steal your computer for a second. If he was here, he could do 1, 2, oops, 2, told you not to pay attention how I play. Absorb the soul, so the soul goes below. And then continue moving. 3. All right. When you remember, then when you absorb a soul, you also acquire all the abilities of the fallen hero, and you reset the decay die. This is only in the case you reset the decay die only if you're absorbing an allied soul. As we saw, there are anomalies, or the ghost can also absorb the opponent's souls. In that case, you do not reset your decay die, but you do acquire the abilities of the fallen hero. Okay. Oh, and also other important thing is that when you are attacked and you are like this confuser in double soul, you basically have 2 life points. So when you're attacked, you first sacrifice your absorbed soul, and then you will have to be attacked again in order to be destroyed. So it's kind of safer also to be in double soul if you really care about that character. All right. Let's look at some paid actions now, because those are all the free actions you can do. So as a paid action, you can use an ability, a Soulgiver ability. Remember, even if you have more than one, you can only use one. You can attack. If you can attack, collect the fragment, pass the fragment, drop the fragment, and draw an anomaly card. So we said that those are paid actions. These are paid actions, but mostly they're paid with tribute essences, which are these little guys, the little, exactly.
No.
You have 3.
Non nella veste definitiva, not the final.
Yeah, that's not the final. But this is Tabletopia. It's not the unfortunately, it's not the real thing yet. But they will be little, like crystals, kind of. But so usually you pay your actions in tribute essence, unless it's specified otherwise, and then you will pay in decay. So you will you'll increase your decay die as a payment for the action, but it's specified in the description of the ability. So each Soulgiver, as we said, has different abilities described on their card. And as I was saying, even when a Soulgiver has more than one ability, they can only activate one per turn, unless they have an absorbed soul. In that case, you can activate for just one tribute essence, one Soulgiver ability, and one soul ability.
Possiamo fare vedere un esempio in realtà.
Yes.
Ok.
This is an example.
Volomancer Runner. Let me take the Runner Soul. Okay. Volomancer. Okay. Okay, let's try this move. I pay for the Volomancer action and for the Runner action, both.
So basically you pay one tribute essence for both one of the Volomancer's actions and one of the Runner's actions.
I can, for example, move from here, use the leap, so I can jump over jump over the Space Walker.
Big encouragement to Luca.
Yeah,
I think he's feeling very self-conscious right now, so thumbs up for Luca.
And mind control the Space Walker this way. Oh. No. not the Space Walker. Confusion.
Volomancer.
Okay. The Confuser? Okay, so he dies.
So basically you pay, again, 1 tribute essence, and you can use both Mind Control of the Volomancer, as I showed, and Leap, that is the...
Leap from the runner and Mind Control from the Volomancer.
And also keep in mind that the runner also has an aura. The Volomancer can also use that aura as long as it has the runner's soul. So
it's a
it cannot be targeted.
Fantastic aura.
Yeah. Okay, so that's one of the first actions you can do. Use one of your abilities. Then the second action, as we said, is attack. So only Soulgivers that have this specific icon that Luca will show you in a second.
Ero distratto, stavo leggendo i commenti su Facebook, mi sono distratto, chiedo perdono.
Di far vedere l'iconcina dell'attacco, grazie.
Oh certo, ci mancherebbe. Prego.
The little dagger can attack. So for example, I believe the Confuser can attack, correct?
Okay, yeah, it's a dagger because it's a melee attack. Because they kill with the... uccidono con il contatto delle loro anime.
Oh, they kill with the with contact, their soul when they get in contact, so they kill.
Okay.
I don't know, when you say melee attack, I think of D&D, honestly. But that's another thing. So basically, for example, the runner, you'll see, cannot attack because it doesn't have the little icon. So to attack, you need to be adjacent to an opposing Soulgiver. So for example, like this.
Wait. Okay. Shield.
Okay, so you need to be adjacent. So if my Confuser wants to attack the Volomancer, they have to be one next to the other. Keep in mind, this game, it's only orthogonal, so you never play in a diagonal line. You always keep them like north, south, east, west. So never diagonal. They don't have to be on the same tile, as you see, but they have to be next to each other.
Yeah.
So if the shields are not protecting the opposing Soulgiver from the side the attack is coming from, the attack is effective. So in this case, my Confuser attacks and the Volomancer loses the soul, because we said that when it's in double soul, it's like having 2 life points. In order to destroy the Volomancer, I will have to either reach the Volomancer with another Soulgiver or wait for my next turn. And yeah, but the shields are not correct. Or wait until my next turn and re-attack again. But if the shields are like this, so if my Patcher wants to attack the Volomancer, it doesn't make any sense for me to even pay, because I already know that the attack is not going to go through, because the Volomancer has a shield protecting themselves. So the shield never wears out. It's always there. You need to be careful, though. They need to be protecting your Soulgiver, otherwise they're gone. And the leave, of course, they'll soul to the ground.
In this case, the only way to kill the Volomancer is to go behind with another Soulgiver.
Yeah, exactly. Also, you need to use your attack to destroy the barrier, which is this white thing protecting the fragment at the end of the game. So you will have to reach the barrier, use your attack, and then the barrier will be gone. It's not going to be like this in the real game. The real game is
it's magic.
There is a hole. Yeah. There is a hole in the middle. So let's pretend there is a hole in the middle. Okay. So the barrier is destroyed. The fragment can be now collected. Okay. And since we were talking about it, next paid action is collecting the fragment. Exactly, Luca, exactly what you were doing. So to collect the fragment, you need to be, To collect the fragment, you need to be on the same tile as the fragment. You simply pay a tribute essence, and you put the fragment on top. So in the real game, the fragment is magnetic, and it magnetizes on top of the Soulgiver token. Here, it's not. but in the game it is. It's really cool because each Soulgiver is a magnet basically, and they really like magnetize, and it's not that easy to lose. So you can easily grab the fragment and move the token around basically. And also the soul and the Soulgiver actually clip. So even in that case, you actually have the game. Yay! Well, it was upside down, but it's okay.
Wait a moment, recupero un frammento.
Sure, he's getting it. So as I was saying, you will magnetize on top of it. Once you collect the fragment, your shield completely disappear. In fact, if you see in a second, the fragment covers completely the Soulgiver's shield. Okay. But you will gain the fragment shield. So, yep, see? It's pretty cool. You won't lose it. And it covers, can you show that it covers the shield? Fai vedere che copre gli scudi. You cannot see the shields anymore, and that's done on purpose. Yep, you see the shield. You don't see the shield. Ta-da!
Okay.
Okay. Also, when you are carrying the fragment, you basically move -1. So if you were moving, for example, a 4, your Soulgiver will, with the fragment, will be able to move just by 3. Okay, so the other paid action is passing the fragment. Passing the fragment.
Scusa Giulia, sempre per il discorso degli scudi sul frammento, ricordiamo che nell'ultima versione, così come nell'ultima live, abbiamo introdotto gli scudi al frammento e dobbiamo poi implementarli sul modello 3D del frammento.
Esatto, so the fragment shield, it's basically they were introduced to balance the game, and we actually shared this addition in the playthrough we had, I believe last week. I don't know, I'm kind of like hazy, I don't know what day is anymore. It's just we are in Kickstarter campaign, every day is the same now. But so we will have to also introduce it in a 3D model of the fragment. So right now what you're seeing in the prototype, when we actually produced the first prototypes, the fragment didn't have shields, so we still have to create that modification to the actual 3D fragment. Okay, so passing the fragment. Passing the fragment is an action of the Soulgivers who has a fragment. They have to be 3 exact cells apart. So as you see, I believe the patcher, okay, wants to pass to the protector. The patcher is the one with the 2 squares, the protector with, sorry Luca, they look like mountains, okay? And just like the way I recognize the Soulgivers is really diminishing of the like incredible work he did, but just the way I remember it. Okay, so they have to be 3 exact cells apart. You pay 1 tribute essence, and you simply pass it. They can pass over, like, if it was like this, can they pass it or not, Luca? No, because the line of sight is not clear. But
posso sempre cambiare la regola in diretta, se non me la ricordo, nel caso. Sapete il potere del creatore.
But if it was like this, they can indeed pass it, because the black hole is not considered an obstacle. No. So the line of sight is clear. Perfect. What else? Okay, so obstacles, for example, are Soulgivers or walls. That's an obstacle right there. Cannot go through.
No.
All right, so you can also drop the fragment if you decide like that right there in your strategy it doesn't make sense for you to have the fragment. You can also drop it. You pay 1 tribute essence and you deposit it at the end, in the middle of the tile you're on. Like in this case, is this tile. If it was here, not there. I'm so bad at this, guys. Okay, that's why I like board games. I actually can do it. Okay, so the last thing we can do, and it's a paid action, is that once per turn, so not with your Soulgiver, is an action of the player. So once per turn, you can pay and draw 1 anomaly card. So you pay 1 tribute essence and you can draw 1. You can hold a maximum of 3. Okay, 3 anomalies. No more than that.
Okay, pay 1.
They are instant cards, and you can play them only when your opponent activates one of their Soulgivers. So you have 3 chances during the opponent's turn to do it, but you can only play it during the opponent's turn.
So we can show the action.
Yes. So let's say I'm playing, and okay, I activate the Space Walker. I do my stuff with the Space Walker, and then I'm like, all right, I activate the Patcher now.
I can say no. I play the stop. No. I play sacrifice.
No, you want. Okay, sacrifice. So keep in mind that you have to play it before you know what your opponent is going to do with that Soulgiver. Okay, so it doesn't have to be about that Soulgiver, but you have to play it not after. Let's say he had freeze. Okay, freeze prevents me from moving. I couldn't say like I activate the Patcher and then I move it, and then he sees I'm putting the Patcher, for example, on the interference cell, or I'm going there and like 1, 2, and he's like, oh no, she's going to the interference cell, freeze. No, he has to use
with
it.
This voice, cioè, era abbastanza credibile tra l'altro.
Thank you. So he has to do it in the moment I activate the Soulgiver. They are instant cards, so when you play them, they take immediate effect. And yeah, but as we said in the live about anomalies, they can easily be blocked. You can simply position one of your Soulgivers on top of an interference cell, and you'll prevent your opponent from either playing the anomalies they already have, or they can't draw any new one. So basically, they can't even pay to get new ones. All right. Let me see what I wrote. Okay, of course, your opponent can do the same. So if Luca places, I don't know, his Bolomancer here.
Bolomancer.
Oops.
Oh.
I cannot play or draw any Anomaly cards. Okay, so these are all the paid actions you can take. Then there are special actions, which are basically, well, playing an Anomaly card is considered a special action. And the Population ability. The Population ability is a very special card that
This is in Italian.
you can... Cosa?
In italiano questa.
No, c'è anche, io c'ho quella in inglese. L'Anomaly Card, scusami.
No, Anomaly.
All right, so you basically can only play it once per turn. And each population has a distinctive special ability that characterizes them. You can play them whenever you or your opponent activate a Soulgiver. So you have many moments you can play it, basically. But keep in mind, because, for example, if I use it in my turn, it will be effective. Okay, I finish my turn. It will be effective for Luca's entire turn, and at the beginning of my next turn, it's gone. But if I use it in Luca's turn, okay, it will only be effective for Luca's turn, and then when I start my turn, it disappears. For example, let's say I'm playing, and...
Your turn.
Huh?
Il tuo turno.
See, it's my turn,
okay.
And I decide, okay, I moved all my Soulgivers, I want to do something. I see that his Soulgivers are close to black holes. My ability, the Spectre's ability, is to amplify black holes. So I position them, help me, Luca, because I'm really good at this.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Oops, that's a black hole. Dov'è l'ultimo? Ah, ne hai presi 2 tu, mannaggia te.
Ah, sì, ho messo...
Okay. 4. So I position them. This is first, so this one dies, and this one dies. So they're gonna be there for Luca's entire turn. So he will choose new Soulgivers, decide what to do with them, and then when it's my turn again, I'll remove them.
Allora, questi, they die. Confuser and the Bolomancer. Ok.
Okay. But let's say that it's my turn. Okay, so he dies, he will pick next.
Okay.
He will pick his few
Oh,
character.
it's
Perfect.
okay.
Okay. Now, let's say that it was still
Okay.
my turn, and Luca sees that, oh my god, I can't do anything. She has, I don't know, she has the fragment. I need to stop her. Let's pretend it's here.
Okay.
I need to stop her. And I'm like, okay, I'm activating my protector, and I'm about to win. Let's say that.
I can.
Okay?
I can suppose you can go. You want to go to
Yep.
this portal to the left.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He will be, I activate the protector, and he's like, all right, I use my population ability.
Okay.
So he places his population ability, which basically allows him to create a temporary wall, a barrier, basically a border that I can now go through. You're missing one.
Oh, yeah.
And I cannot go through this, but it's my turn. So, okay, I can't do anything with protector.
I can go through
He can
my
go through, yes.
wall, of course.
So basically, this is a border that I cannot go through unless I am using the ghost, but all shells can go through. It doesn't exist for them, basically. It only exists for me. But he used this in my turn. So let's pretend I already used the Spacewalker, I already used the Patcher, I just activated the Protector, and he blocked my possibility to win. I was like, okay, then I'll just move it here, fine, and I'm done. I'll increase my decay, and it's his turn. So this goes away right away. So it was basically there for only my Protector's turn, because this ability lasts from the moment you use it to the beginning of your next turn, whenever that is. Yes, Luca?
No, volevo suggerire una combo, ma ne parliamo nelle prossime live quando vediamo le abilità dei personaggi nel dettaglio. Così.
Exactly. We also can talk more about population ability and the Soulgivers abilities in the next few lives we have about Soulgiver abilities. Okay. And that's basically it. You know, the population abilities are extremely powerful. We know that, but you can only use it once per game. So you gotta be careful about when you use them. But they can really save the game sometimes, or not if you waste them right away. That's it. This is the game. We know that it seems like a lot of rules at first, but I promise that as soon as you play one game, you'll get the hang of it, and it's not gonna be as hard. Also because, again, you have the recap card that tells you whatever you can do in your turn. All the abilities are described on the cards, so you don't have to necessarily remember everything.
Il segreto sta proprio nel conoscere le abilità dei personaggi e capire come questi lavorino in sinergia con altri personaggi della propria squadra. Quindi
exactly, the core of the game is basically knowing your Soulgivers abilities, how to use them in combinations with other Soulgivers through acquiring the souls and stuff. So your strategy is, it's not really like, okay, I need to know all the rules. No, it's in creating the right combinations of souls and Soulgivers and their abilities and auras.
se sono arrivati fino qui, direi che sanno giocare a Soulgivers.
Yes. So let's look at some questions. So I'm just looking at the last one we got. You cannot attack the gates. The question is, I think I can also attack the gates, right? No, you cannot attack the gates with attack, but there is an anomaly card that allows you to destroy the portals, the gates. Correct?
Yeah.
Yes, fracture.
Sto cercando.
So you will have to draw that anomaly card, and you will have to basically satisfy specific requirements, which is having a Soulgiver right next to a portal. So for example, if I want to destroy his portal, I will have to have at least one Soulgiver right next to the portal I want to destroy, and at the right time use Fracture that Luca can't find right now.
Fracture. Okay. Fracture.
Okay, so,
it's devastating.
Yep. So you cannot use your attack to destroy the gate, but there is a way to destroy the portal, sorry. We can't say the word gate.
Gate.
I don't know.
Gate.
Gate, yes. So if you have any questions, you
Gate,
can
it's
ask and we'll answer.
a cool name for Soulgiver. Gate.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That sounds pretty cool.
Sounds familiar.
If you're not watching this video live and you have questions, please message us. We read every comment you are writing. So
do un'occhiata ai commenti anche in italiano e vediamo se c'è qualcosa
certo.
a cui possiamo rispondere velocemente. Allora, ci chiedevano se sono già state sbloccate le carte foil. Sì, assolutamente.
Foil were unlocked. We reached that threshold.
Ieri sera, grazie.
Yeah, I think it was late last night. So thank you guys. You're really awesome. Thank you.
Allora, Nicky Scotti chiedeva se le espansioni di altri colori non c'entrano con se non c'entrano le espansioni di altri colori con questo Kickstarter, quindi immagino si riferisca ai popoli. No, i nuovi popoli.
No, scusami, perché sulla pagina Kick c'è scritto espansioni e c'è una scatola con viola e giallo.
Grazie per i complimenti, vedo sotto. Ma allora, è uno spoiler per il futuro. Nel senso che i colori dei due nuovi popoli che entreranno nella storia di Soulgivers sono praticamente già definiti, adesso non è nella percentuale 1000 però ecco, i colori ci sono, ci sarà da sistemare un po' la tonalità di uno e dell'altro, però se andate sulla pagina Kickstarter li vedete, anzi poi ci potete anche
non so
dire
se avete notato,
che cosa ne pensate.
Luca con le tonalità da bravo artista, quindi bisogna che siano calibrate perfettamente ed è la cosa bella del gioco, effettivamente, questa cura per i dettagli.
Ok, quindi sono molto belli come colori. Continuo a scorrere.
Anche per gli amici inglesi.
Sì, scusa, tanto io scendo.
So basically one of the questions was like if the different colors you can see on the expansion part of the Kickstarter page, if those are going to be additions to this, like there will be new characters or it will be addition to this core set. No, let's say that it's a sneak peek to what the colors of the new populations will be. So the yellow and purple. But of course they're not like 100% that color. We still have to he has to still calibrate the colors.
No, mi aiuti anche tu.
Find what they really are. I'm gonna be there like, I think this is purple still. I don't know. But that's a little sneak peek. Each new expansion, each new like character, there will be an expansion to this specific core set is gonna be only in the shell color and spectre color.
Fabio Cardanobile ci chiede se finanzia il progetto e mi arriva in italiano. Sì, nel senso che alla fine della campagna Kickstarter ci sarà un pledge manager dove ci saranno una serie di domande, tra cui potrete selezionare esattamente la lingua del gioco tra quelle chiaramente disponibili. Comunque l'italiano ovviamente c'è e il gioco è completamente stampato in italiano.
So one of the questions was, would the game be in this case specifically in Italian? And yes, at the end of the campaign, you'll have to basically decide in which language of those available, you would like Soulgivers in, and you just can choose the language. We sent out a survey today about languages, so if you haven't filled it out yet, please do, because if you don't speak Italian, or if you don't want it in English but in another language, that's the moment to do it, because we can see how many backers we have and if it's feasible for us to actually produce the game in your language.
Vedo Leda Ruggeri che effettivamente suggerisce un frammento molto particolare nei toni lì. Praticamente dice che sarebbe bello se il frammento cambiasse da chiaro o cambiasse colore nel momento in cui è trasportato. Siamo un po' ai limiti della fantascienza, però non sarebbe male. Col calore potrebbe non essere non fattibile in realtà. Facciamo che mi informo. Non mi dispiace, però devo mettere le mani avanti sulla fattibilità. Diversamente rilancio con fluorescente, vi piacerebbe? Vediamo.
Yeah. So Leda was asking if the fragment could change color when it's carried, and unfortunately, we're not sure that's doable. But maybe we can see if it can change color with the warmth of your hands. I don't know. We're gonna figure it. We're gonna just get some information about it. But the question was, would you like a glow in the dark fragment or not? Let us know. Abbiamo anche un altro paio di domande sotto riguardanti il gioco proprio.
Sto scendendo, sì, adesso le vedo.
Baron
Allora,
is asking if a Soulgiver dies twice, they're out of the game for, are they out of the game for good? So it depends what you mean if it dies twice. So
infatti volevo
it can
capire
die
questo.
once.
Sì, volevo capire anch'io questo, se intende, in che senso intende, se viene...
So basically, it can die twice in the sense that it dies the first time, leaves the soul, and then the soul can be absorbed. And if a Soulgiver in double soul, like for example, I don't know if you can get
facciamo vedere. Sì, sì.
So let's say that I attack the runner dies. Oops. Can you make your runner die, Luca?
Right, ok.
Here. Okay, the runner dies and oops. So bad.
No,
oh my god.
Don't destroy the...
I'm ridiculously bad.
Wait.
Okay, you get it. Okay, then let's say that the homemaker gets the runner soul.
Ok.
And let's say that it's not oriented like that. Okay, it's like that.
Scusa, prego. Prima tu. Ruoti gli scudi, per favore.
Okay. In this case, I attack again, and the homemaker doesn't die directly, but it loses the soul first. In this case, the runner is out of the game for good. Yes. That's the only time, basically, it can be out of the game for good. Keep in mind there are abilities or cards or things can happen where even if the homemaker has the soul, maybe there is an ability or an anomaly card that makes the homemaker drop the soul. Let's say like it has to go back to the portal. There is an anomaly card called, I think, Xenophobia, giusto?
Yeah.
That basically you choose one Soulgiver and bring it back to the portal, their portal. But if they're in double soul, they drop the soul. So in this case, the runner can be absorbed again by another Soulgiver. But you will have to destroy the runner first and then destroy their soul in order to be out of the game completely. Ok, Alessandro Cortese ha una domanda anche lui.
Una di quelle facili su cosa succede quando si distruggono entrambi i portali.
Mm-hmm. E poi ce n'è un'altra che è simile con cosa succede se tutti i Soulgivers muoiono.
Ok, allora, praticamente nel momento in cui dovessi avere la possibilità, aggiungerei remota, però può succedere, di distruggere entrambi i portali, la partita non è finita. Ovviamente il popolo che ha perso i portali non può più vincere consegnando il frammento. Quello che può fare è cercare di impedire all'avversario di consegnare il frammento all'interno dei propri portali. Facendo questo, che cosa succede? Io intanto non faccio vincere l'avversario, che non significa che io vinco, significa che impedisco a lui di vincere.
È un modo per non perdere.
È un modo per non perdere, quindi per cercare il pareggio. Questo funziona e ha senso nel momento in cui decido di fare in ambiente magari torneistico dei tornei a punti dove la vittoria ha un punteggio, il pareggio, la sconfitta ne hanno altri. Questo è quanto. La seconda domanda invece diceva...
Aspetta che ti traduco questo. So,
sì.
If in the case both portals are gone, both of your portals are gone, it's not very likely to happen, but it can happen because there are two fracture anomaly cards in the deck. Basically, you will be trying not to lose. You'll try to reach a tie because you clearly cannot win anymore because you cannot bring back the fragment to your portals because you don't have portals, but your opponent can. So basically, in order to prevent your opponent from winning, you're going to try to stop them and try to kill basically all their Soulgivers so they cannot win.
Questo...
This is
no.
like this works also in the case you want to be more competitive and have tournaments. And also as the lore-wise, it doesn't make sense that you will win, because the goal of the game is to find a cure for your people. And in the moment that you cannot secure a cure for your people, you cannot win. But you can prevent your opponent from winning too. Dicevi, Luca?
Volevo dire proprio questo, volevo proprio rilacciarmi alla loro, cioè la vittoria del popolo avviene solo nel momento in cui riescono a riportare nel proprio universo il frammento, e quindi cercare il modo di contrastare, di fermare la decadenza. Poi questo magari lo approfondiremo con le storie legate a Soulgivers. Però ecco, non possiamo dichiarare vittorioso un popolo che annienta l'altro senza portare il frammento, cioè loro non si trovano in questa situazione per distruggere l'altro popolo fino al momento in cui non arrivano, poi lo troverete, se non l'avete già letto lo trovate, il primo racconto sul regolamento di gioco, i primi due popoli, i gusci e gli spettri, che arrivano nel luogo in cui si trova il frammento, quindi tra i detriti del primo anello, non si aspettano di trovare un altro popolo di un universo speculare al proprio. Quindi diciamo che la battaglia diventa l'unica, non hanno altra scelta, ma non arrivano lì con l'intenzione di fare guerra, arrivano lì con l'intenzione di portare a casa il frammento.
So basically, what he was saying is that your goal is not to destroy the other population. That's not your goal. That's not why you reach the board of the game. Basically, you reach there and you want to find a cure. I don't know if you guys read it already, but there is the first short story in the rulebook, and if you read it, you know that the population that gets there, the shells, doesn't really know that other population exists in the first place. They get there and they find this kind of doppelganger. They're like they look, they mirror like a mirror, but they're also so different, and they realize very quickly that the other population is dying of decay, and then they realize that they have to fight and reach the fragment first, but they don't get there to fight each other. So that is not really the goal of the game. The goal is like, okay, I need to save my people, reach the fragment first, otherwise we all die. So that's why you don't win if you just kill the other Soulgivers. E l'altra domanda è cosa succede se tutti i Soulgiver muoiono?
È la stessa cosa, nel senso che se dipende. Allora, intanto
dipende come muoiono.
Dipende come muoiono, nel senso che se io uccido tutti i Soulgiver del mio avversario credendo di stare giocando un altro tipo di gioco, quindi ignorando il frammento, non vinco. Perché probabilmente nel frattempo la decadenza avrà consumato i miei, o comunque mi resterà non molto. Se ce la faccio, nel senso, se gioco per distruggere gli avversari e allo stesso tempo riesco a portare il frammento, allora quella è una strategia.
No,
posso giocare più aggressivo.
Perché poi rimangono in vita, esatto.
Esatto. Se muoiono tutti, vince la decadenza.
Perché probabilmente muoiono sia perché sono stati attaccati, ma poi alla fine io ho attaccato tutti i gusci, siete morti tutti, ma non porto il frammento a casa, i miei muoiono perché sono morti di decadenza e quindi ho vinto la decadenza.
Ripeto, me la devo cercare una situazione del genere, nel senso non è la prassi.
Che cercando entrambi
potrebbe capitare
di portare a casa il frammento non si faccia in tempo e muoia la
questo
decadenza.
Sì,
Devo dire la verità
questo
che anche questo è uno scenario un po' difficile, perché vuol dire che la partita è molto combattuta,
certo,
però è possibile, è plausibile.
Può succedere, non è una cosa ordinaria, sicuramente.
Exactly. So the question was, what happens if all Soulgivers die in the game? So first of all, it depends how they die. Again, this is not a deathmatch. You're not there to really kill all the Soulgivers, and it depends if you would decide that that's your strategy and you kill all the opponent's Soulgivers and then you still retrieve the fragment. That's fine. But if you let your Soulgivers die and you already killed all the others, so your goal is not to really like kill each other all the time, but is to conquer the fragment. But if all Soulgivers die, they probably would die of decay sooner or later. And that's a defeat for both of you, because that means that the disease had like worked. The disease completely exterminated your people. Yeah, again, you're not there to kill each other, period. So if it's part of your strategy to kill all the opponents or givers and retrieve the fragment, that's okay. But if you guys just simply kill each other, it's a defeat for both of you because basically nobody gets the cure.
Stavo leggendo un commento dalla nostra pagina Kickstarter dove Mustafa Tolga, spero di averlo pronunciato correttamente onestamente, dice che il frammento nero di colore nero sarebbe un bel tributo a Odissea nello spazio per via del monolite nero, quindi sì, è vero, effettivamente sì. Diciamo che in termini estetici magari spiccherebbe, cromatici, spiccherebbe meno del bianco, quindi con molta probabilità il frammento in realtà sarà bianco semitrasparente. Però ecco,
Vabbè, poi dobbiamo anche vedere
abbiamo
cosa
fatto
poi ci
oggi
dicono nel sondaggio, perché è
esatto,
una delle domande che abbiamo fatto.
anzi io lo ricorderei, intanto lo ricordo agli italiani che ci seguono di rispondere al sondaggio che abbiamo mandato oggi. Se chiaramente siete dei nostri backer avrete ricevuto il sondaggio, altrimenti se lo diventate da questa sera in avanti potete trovarlo negli update della pagina Kickstarter e vediamo se riesco anche a farvi vedere. Ok, qui
I'll just briefly translate what you said. So there was a comment on Kickstarter saying that the Black Fragment would be a great tribute to Space Odyssey, and that's true. But unfortunately, from a chromatic point of view, it will not be as visible as a white one. But we're still deciding. As I said before, we sent out a survey today, and that's one of the questions you'll find in the survey. Also, just to remind you, especially to all our backers that don't speak English or they speak English but they would like the game in another game, please fill out the survey because we are using it also to see how many backers we have that speak a specific language. Especially, I've had this question a lot from like, wait, there's still mosquitoes. It's October.
Mosquito?
Moschito.
Moschito.
Yeah.
Moschino. Moschito. Ok.
Moschino è un'altra cosa.
Moschino è un'altra cosa. Moschito with super luminal speed.
But I had this question a lot from French backers, especially some Spanish, some Germans. If you want your game in that language, fill out the survey because that's a way we can figure out the exact number. Because French is not only spoken in France or even Spanish or German. Maybe somebody's not living in Germany right now and is backing us, and on our community section it says that they're backing us, I don't know, from the United States, but they want their game in German. Like, please fill out the survey so we understand who speaks what language and how many of them, please. Ok, stavi dicendo poi?
Ok, no, niente, stavo in realtà guardando se ci sono altre domande da poter condividere. Leda mi dice, ma se uno fa il sondaggio certe volte non c'è un blocco che ti impedisce di inviarlo più volte? Non lo so, ci guardiamo, però secondo me con lo stesso IP non puoi farlo, comunque ti sovrascrive quello che hai. Per il momento non sta succedendo, mi fido della buona fede, dei nostri...
We hope that you guys are being nice and play fair.
Ci chiedono se c'è un... Scusami? No, vai.
Well, unfortunately, the survey is anonymous, so I don't know if there will be a way to block that, but we can look into it. So we don't actually know, we don't see like this person said this, we just get answers, but that's a very good question.
Scusi, si stavo scorrendo nel frattempo, è proprio... no, in realtà abbiamo risposto alle più importanti sicuramente. Intanto salutiamo tutti quelli che ci hanno scritto e fatto complimenti da ovunque, da Facebook, insomma dai vari canali, quindi li salutiamo tutti in una volta sola. Dopodiché io, Giulia, ricorderei i prossimi 2 appuntamenti della settimana, che sono fondamentali per conoscere finalmente nel dettaglio le abilità dei nostri Soulgivers. Quindi anche se ormai li conoscete, se magari di alcuni avete già visto le abilità in azione nella live in cui Giulia mi ha distrutto malamente, come al solito, però avremo modo di analizzarli e di valutare, di vedere insieme qualche sinergia, qualche combinazione tra Soulgiver e Anima e tra vari Soulgiver sul campo, quindi vedere che cosa succede quando lo Space Walker incontra l'Allmaker, per esempio.
Don't forget the next two events. You probably saw some Soulgivers abilities if you watched the playthrough, but we're gonna, on Wednesday and Friday at 9 p.m., we are gonna look at some combinations, how they work. For example, I don't know, like the easiest I can think of is also Spacewalker and Homemaker, how they work together, how you can use it together. We're gonna look at some abilities and how they can create a strategy together, basically. E non dimentichiamo che siamo vicinissimi a sbloccare i social stretch goal.
Siamo estremamente vicini. Siamo
We're
veramente
so close
molto
to
vicini.
unlocking the social stretch goals. So close. I think somebody commented not too long ago what the numbers are. Please go on our Board Game Geek page and click subscribe. We're gonna put up more content soon. We're thinking about some stuff for you there. Click on our Facebook page, follow and like if you haven't yet, and also on our Instagram account. This will unlock cool stretch goals that basically for free, just you need to click.
Ok, beh, intanto grazie Giulia per aver insegnato a tantissima gente a giocare a Soulgivers senza confini.
Well, thank you, Luca, for speaking English. Thumbs up for Luca.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Ok, oh, mi è esplosa la webcam. Ok.
Okay.
So, io saluterei.
Thank you for watching.
Grazie a
For
tutti.
your support.
Ci aggiorniamo domani magari già con dei primi riscontri sui feedback sul sondaggio di oggi. Sì, sul sondaggio di oggi e sulle sorti del Whisperer, visto che è oggetto di contesa, giustamente è un bel personaggio, se non vorrei girare il coltello nella piaga, però il Whisperer è un personaggio interessante, anche se non lo conoscete ancora. In realtà, se leggete il racconto che c'è sul regolamento, è il narratore del racconto.
Che dire?
Che dire.
No, don't say bye. I have to say
io vado, ho finito la parte italiana, ciao ragazzi. Esce offline.
So thank you for watching, thank you for your support and following us. We'll probably talk to you tomorrow, maybe giving you some of the results of our survey, especially seeing what's going to happen to the Whisperer, which is a great character. You haven't seen it yet, but if you read the short story, you already know their point of view because they are the narrator of the short story. And it's a pretty cool character. So we'll let you know soon what the results are. And what else? Ho detto solo quello.
Direi che siamo stati bravissimi.
Yeah. Si guarda che si dice che chi si loda si imbroda, quindi...
però adesso io vorrei tradurre questo detto anche per gli amici che giustamente non parlano italiano. Lo possiamo tenere come compito per la prossima live, Giulia. Hai tempo 2 giorni. Per il chi si loda si imbroda in inglese.
I'll have to ask.
Ok, vabbè.
Continua,
Poi...
non gli piace.
Che cosa?
E non lo so, mi continua a dire che chi si loda si imbroda e me lo dà come rumeno, per cui...
Vabbè, lo approfondiremo.
Ma live sapremo.
Va bene, ok.
Thank you again for watching and good night.
Grazie ragazzi. Notte.
Thank you.
Ciao.